Arkansas's #1 trusted source for weather. This is a severe weather alert.
Alrighty, good evening everyone. This is Chief Forecaster Cameron and
Derek here once again. So after a lull in our action for a few hours here around the state, we have a brand new tornado warning. This one going for my folks here in Monroe County, over here in East Central Arkansas. Again, this is going until about 11:15 this evening.
yeah.
This does include my folks in Clarendon, Holly Grove, and Monroe.
Yep. So just a couple of, like I said before, we're watching these storms very closely here. This is why we told you guys that yes, the severe threat was going to start to decrease, but we're going to keep an eye on some of these cells that may try to get going over here in eastern Arkansas. So let's go ahead and kind of take a look at this storm in particular here. You know what's funny about this, Derek, is we've got a Skycam kind of courtesy from the University of Arkansas Phillips Community College. Lee's probably watching this right now. He's the chancellor there. We actually have a sky camera that is getting ready to get put up in Stuttgart for types of events like this here. So right now, if you know anyone in the Clarendon area, Holly Grove, Monroe, they need to be taking their tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows.
Especially Holly Grove.
Yeah, especially Holly Grove. Take your tornado precautions now. Get into that center, most interior part of your home, and put as many walls between yourself and the outside as physically possible here. Go ahead, Derek.
All right. So once again, just to reiterate what Cameron said again. One, we have very, very large hail with this storm, as you can see as well. But you also have your rotation that is actually inside of this as well. So once again, this is another situation. It's 10:48 at night. You don't want to try to go out and look and watch and see, where the storm is. Now is the time to get to that lowest level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Again, this is a storm. It is going to be hail ramp. We are dealing with 2-inch hail with this storm, as well as a tornado threat. Again, our tornado threat is not, as significant as we've seen throughout much of the spring. But then again, these storms are latching on to boundaries left over from morning storms and the early afternoon storm. So what's happening is they are able to take advantage of that atmosphere, especially if you live around Holly Grove. I would definitely think about taking those precautions. Again, lowest the level of your house. Put as many walls in between you and the outside as possible. Again, this is a situation that has just developed over the last 10 or 15 minutes, and this storm continues to tighten up as it moves east.
Yep, so what I'm doing right now here, guys, is I've got the Little Rock Skycam up because we've had a lot of people ask, what about Central Arkansas? What about these areas? I want to make this clear. We do not cover just Central Arkansas. We cover the entire state. But I do have the Skycam up here in Central Arkansas for those that are going to be asking, where exactly the storm is, stuff like that here. So this is not an immediate threat to anywhere near Central Arkansas or Little Rock. This is for our folks in East Central Arkansas. So the Holly Grove area, over towards Clarendon and Monroe area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. This is going to go for our folks in Central Monroe County. So anyone in this area, take your tornado precautions now. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as physically possible here. We can take a look at the rotation strength with this particular storm here. Right now, it looks like should be coming up here in just a second. So you might give it a little bit. Looks like right now it's probably going to show a good amount of rotation. Yeah, just to the south of Clarendon or just to the northwestern community of Holly Grove. It's moving to the east here. It's like that rotation is trying to get itself going over here. So let's go over to our rotation detection. Derek's got you on 2 with the track. That's going to tell you exactly where this is going. So Holly Grove looks like it's going to be 10:57, which is 7 minutes from now. Aubrey looks like 11:24, and then the Rondo area, which is close to the Mississippi River, that's going to be around 11:30 here.
And as a matter of fact, we do have a camera in Helena.
Yes, we do.
That we might be able to start to point.
So what I can do for just a second here. So if you can take over for just a little bit, I can get that camera going for those over there, and that's gonna be in the Helena area. That's actually gonna be looking northwest.
Yep.
So we'll be able to actually see the storm here. Go ahead.
All right. So once again, folks. So just to reiterate this once again, we do have a tornado warning for our folks here in Monroe County downstream into Memphis's jurisdiction in Phillips County. We need to be starting to watch this storm, especially if you live in Marble, Lexa, Rondo, Aubrey, Mariana. This storm is moving into an environment that has been untapped all day. So therefore, it has plenty of energy to work with, plenty of rotation to work with, plenty of instability, plenty of fuel as it continues to push off towards the east again. This is ahead of our cold front, ahead of our main line of storms. So therefore, these are the cells we watch for when we start talking about that potential for tornadic development.
Yep.
And the subject we're definitely going to have to watch, as you can see, we have what we call a classic, kind of a bookend where you see where it's curving in, and this is right in between Clarendon and Holly Grove. Again, you can see the folding over of our scan here, and latest scan has come back a little bit stronger as well.
Yeah.
With the folding over of the radar as well. So again, getting very concerned about the storm, especially if you live between Clarendon and Holly Grove. As a matter of fact, NWS just moved it now to include just the folks over there in Holly Grove areas. So again, this does continue here until 11:15 on this Friday evening here. But again, this is pushing off towards the east here at about 40 to 50 miles an hour. This is going to be moving to or just north of Holly Grove, and then of course on into Phillips County here very, very shortly.
Yep. So I am working on getting that Phillips County, not Phillips. Yeah, I guess you can say Phillips County, the Helena area. That camera up. Like I said, a quick shout out to the University of Arkansas Phillips Community College for sponsoring these cameras here, guys. And this is one of the reasons why we have this SkyCam project is for severe weather events like this, where we're actually able to physically see what's going on in the atmosphere and stuff like that here. So I'm working on getting that up. If you give me just 1 second here, I'm looking at the current conditions where that SkyCam is right now. We've got temperatures right now 78 degrees in Helena, over 72 here. So it's moving into a rather decent environment where it's going to be capable of producing some severe weather over here. So we'll have to keep an eye on that rotation, see if it makes it that far east. But we do have a camera up and it's now live. So there we go. And what I'm going to do here is, if you give me just 1 second, I did not mean to do that. Give me just 1 second here. I got to switch yours back over. So there you go. And then I'm going to bring my radar back up. So there we go. All right. So now we're good to go here. So we've got the SkyCam in Helena that we're going to keep an eye on here. We've got the SkyCam in downtown Little Rock for those that are wondering about Central Arkansas. And then you got myself. You've got Derek.
Wow.
Yeah, did you see that? You just caught that on there as well. So right now, folks that are in this area, you need to be taking your tornado precautions now. Get away from windows. Put as many walls between yourself and the outside as physically possible here. What I'm also doing real quickly here, because those are going to be asking, I'm putting the counties on here as well. So that's going to be Monroe County. This is Lee County, and then this is Phillips County. And our camera sits looking just to the north and west here. So we're going to have to watch this very closely as it continues to move off towards the east here, Derek. Go ahead.
All right. So once again, folks, so if you know anybody that lives kind of along Bryant Road, Elm Street, Land Road, Sand Road, Holly Road, East Lake Road here, just in and around Holly Grove, you need to go on and call them and wake them up and let them know, hey, there is a tornado threat, a tornadic storm here just around your area. And this is moving off towards the east here, 40 miles an hour. So you're not going to have a lot of time to see that coming. And as a matter of fact, on top of that, this thing has 2-inch hail with it as well. So now you're dealing with a tornado threat and a hail threat all moving in the same direction. Couple of that with 60 mile per hour winds. Well, guess what? Now you have a wind threat as well. So regardless of the tornado threat with this storm, you have the large hail threat with it as well, and the wind threat with this storm. So let's go back and look at our debris signature. So let's look at it via our reflectivity. Now let's go back and look here again, folks.
Okay.
at a rotation scan.
So I've got our camera set up. The one that, like I said, we're able to control this in the Weather Center, which is awesome. Quick shout out to Hascam for this. We're able to kind of look and see what's going on here with this camera here. One of my guys, if y'all can do me a favor, for those that are kind of wanting to see what's going to happen in this area, go ahead and drop that link. I have the Hascam's link. I'll send it in Discord. If y'all want to go check that out, stuff like that, that's awesome. But looks like there's already some lightning on that camera here, looking to the north and west here. So you guys are seeing that. That's real time, by the way. You're looking to the northwest here, so you're seeing that storm, that tornadic storm near Holly Grove, looking northwest here right now. So something that we're going to have to continue to monitor. But for those that are in the area here, for those that are in Lee County, Southwest Lee County, west and northwest Phillips County, and for folks in Monroe County, you need to be taking your tornado precautions immediately. Get away from windows, put as many walls from yourself and the outside as possible, and get to that lowest, most center part of your home immediately. At this time here. Go ahead, Derek.
All right, folks. So once again, so let's go back. Again, not seeing anything significant on the rotation, which is a very good thing.
Yeah.
One thing I am going to do is switch to our Memphis radar, just because we are kind of getting into that Memphis jurisdiction here, just to see what we can see from the other side of the storm, looking at it from the east instead of the west here. Again, that being said, so now looking at it from this angle, you can clearly see the area of rotation, especially here just over the Holly Grove area. So once again, let's go back and look at our reflectivity view here. Again, it's going to be wrapped in hail. So regardless of a tornado threat, you do have the potential of very, very, very large hail with the storm. As a matter of fact, our tornado warning just got dropped.
Yep, it just got dropped. So what we're going to do here, so I'm going to kind of wait and see what ends up having the storm, because it looks like it still has a good amount of rotation near the Holly Grove area. We're going to hang tight for just a little bit. I want you guys to kind of see these cameras in action, to see the beneficial part of why we're trying to push this Skycam project here. So we're going to be looking at this storm to the west into the northwest here. So we're going to monitor it very closely. If it decides, your browser, by the way, is over there. So there you go. So we're going to be watching this storm. The camera's pointing to the west into the northwest here, so you guys will be able to see if this thing continues its rotation here. But right now near the Holly Grove area, we're going to kind of hang tight. I know the tornado warning has been dropped. We're just going to hang tight for just a little bit longer, see what ends up coming out of the storm. And then we're going to go from there here. So my folks at Holly Grove, I know the tornado warning has been dropped. I want you to stay where you are, regardless of the tornado threat here. This is going to pack a punch. We're talking big time hail with this storm here, just to the west into the northwest here. So give me just a second here. For some reason, this is lagging up. I'm not sure what that was about. Looks like we should be good to go here. So give me just a minute. Let me clear some stuff off here. I've probably got like a billion tabs open right now. So me 1 minute, and that should start to clear things up over here. So there we go. All right, we're good. We're good now. We're good. It was just some reason we had, like I said before, we've had a lot of stuff going on today in terms of making sure people were staying updated and everything like that here. So there was probably like a billion tabs I got open here. Looks like we're good. Okay, so all right, so just got that posted on Facebook, stuff like that. Appreciate you guys for that. Like I said before, that is the reason why we are not live on YouTube. We should be live on YouTube. I'll double check and make sure. Yeah, we're live on YouTube. I'm not sure what that's about, but we're live. Yeah, we're live on YouTube right now here. So you may have to back out, come back in, but yeah, we are live on YouTube right now here on my side. One of my guys can make sure that we're good. Yeah, so yeah, we're live. We're live on YouTube. So to go back to this storm real quickly here, like I said before, major hail with this storm near the Holly Grove area here, regardless of the tornado threat. We're gonna watch this very closely. Derek, there's another area just to the east into the northeast of Pine Bluff.
Yep.
Looks like it's trying to get going over there as well. So we're gonna kind of hang tight. Let's see what comes out of this. But regardless, guys, I want you guys to kind of stay where you are. If you're near the Holly Grove area here, this storm is going to continue to move off towards the east at about 40 to 50 miles per hour here at this current time. Looks like we got a good amount of lightning, Derek, with the storm that's showing up on our Hascam's camera in, like I said, in Helena right down here. And our eventual goal is to have one in Stuttgart, so we'll be able to kind of provide Eastern Arkansas with some eyes in the sky pretty much whenever we have severe weather like this here. So right now, this is the severe thunderstorm warning considerable tag, 70-mile-per-hour winds. And that's another thing I want to stress to you guys. You know, a lot of people prioritize the tornado over damaging winds. At the end of the day, they're both wind. It's just one is in you know, obviously twisting in a rotation. The other is straight line winds. So please keep that in mind, that regardless of this is producing a tornado or damaging winds, this is still 70-mile-per-hour winds no matter how it's coming at you. So I want you to get away from the windows, get away from those stereo walls, just to be on the safe side. Right now, looking at the rotation, Derek, I know you're typing over there. Once you get that done, if you can zoom down on that Holly Grove storm, because it looks like there's still some broad rotation there. I know they have canceled the tornado warning here, but it looks like there's still some broad rotation there near or just over the community of Holly Grove. This is going to continue to move off towards the east here. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a track real quick. Let me see if I can get this going real faster. So this is going to be your area right over here, and I'm going to put a track at about, I'm going to clock at about 60 miles per hour, because these storms are moving very, very, very quickly here. So the Holly Grove area coming at you at 11:03, pretty much on top of you right now. The Poplar Grove area coming at you at 11:22, Rondo 11:24, and then obviously our Skycam in Helena and West Helena coming at it about 11:30 this evening here. So we're going to hang tight. I'm going to let this storm kind of get out from this severe thunderstorm warning considerable tag, get into this, what we call the base severe thunderstorm warning, mainly for 60-mile-per-hour winds, and then we will go from there. Going to keep an eye on this storm as well near the Pine Bluff area. Looks like right now it's just severe thunderstorm warned, mainly for damaging winds and large hail. Nothing tornadic with that. I also want to make this clear as well. I know things are loud right now, especially if you live south of the metro, near East End, etc. You're seeing it on our Skycam here. You've got our Skycam in Little Rock, and you've got the Skycam in Helena. Nothing is tornadic with these storms right now. They're just very, very loud right now here. But we're going to monitor because we have a camera that we're able to kind of keep an eye on for our folks over there in Eastern Arkansas.
You know, Cameron, this is exactly what we're talking about. Why this project is so important to us, and why, you know, we are so excited about it, is because, you know, getting these up in all 75 counties around the state is going to really help us.
Yep.
You know, especially when it comes to viewing these storms, especially when you get into areas, you know, like Southeast Arkansas, you know, where you're in between radars and not able to really see that rotation, you know, in full depth like you would if you were up close to it.
Yeah.
You know, just that's kind of really exciting thing. You know that especially in your rural communities where you don't have a lot of visual aid.
Yes, sir. So I will say this right now. It looks like I'm looking at the current conditions at our Skycam in Helena. You've got winds coming out of the south. So what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to watch this storm here, because once it starts getting into those southerly winds, the rotation may start to pick back up once again for our folks over there in Phillips County. So my folks over there in the Marvell area, the Helena, West Helena area, Rondo, Holly Grove, I would watch this storm very, 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 very closely. Right now, just looking at things, looks like the area of rotation is pretty broad, but it is going to be moving into a really decent environment to its east. So we're going to kind of hang tight for just a little bit here. Also, kind of want to report the power outages. Power outages, 7,400 customers without power across the entire state of Arkansas. Right now here, let me double check a couple of things here. Make sure we're good. We're good moderator-wise here. So we've got over 7,400 customers without power. Looks like the majority of that may have been in Eastern Arkansas from these storms. A couple of them may be in Central Arkansas as well. So right now, like I said before, tornado warning has been dropped. But we're going to kind of keep an eye on things here, kind of put some minds at ease, because I know there's a lot of people that are watching this right now trying to figure out what's going on. Things sound loud, etc. This is something that we're going to have to continue to monitor very closely here. Go ahead, Derek.
Yep, all 34 viewers on our camera there.
Oh, that's awesome.
There in Helena now. So once again, folks, as I mentioned, we are still live. You know, just to give everybody a reset on Facebook, on YouTube, on Roku, on Fire TV, on the 24/7 network. Cameron, Derek, our entire team. It's been a long season for us here across the board. Unfortunately, we're not done yet. As a matter of fact, Cameron and have kind of taken a look into June. We may not be done yet. When it comes to severe weather, we may get these brief lulls. But looking into June, we may not be done until probably Father's Day or beyond.
Yeah.
Before all is really said and done. So unfortunately, just means, but we're going to be here for each and every event, as we have been. But again, like we said, yeah, there are no tornadoes in effect at this time, but
I'm going to keep an eye on it.
But we're definitely keeping an eye on this storm as it moves still into a very favorable environment. Looking out around the rest of the state, there's not much going on. These are the only warnings in the state at this time. Now moving into southeastern Arkansas.
Yeah.
And as a matter of fact, it's kind of crazy to see the two conditions. We have a camera in Silent Springs that has stars on it right now with temperatures in the 60s and dew points in the 40s. Then you have a camera over here in Helena.
Yeah, that is completely different.
With dew
That's
points
the
in the
other side of the
mid-70s.
Yeah. So I'm seeing a couple of comments about the Hot Springs Village area. Looks like we had some golf ball sized hail earlier on. And the power is out over there. So that is probably one of the reasons why the number of power outages kind of ballooned up. And you'll keep an eye on it. By the way, that's a real-time counter up there in the top right corner of your screen here. So the more power outages we get, that number will kind of vary on how much energy you can kind of get to it here. Wow, that was a bright lightning strike on our Helena camera here, guys. So like I said before, one of my guys got that in the comments. We are watching coverage right now here, but if you want to check out that camera and kind of help the University of Arkansas, Phillips Community College, what it is in Phillips County.
Yes.
Go check that out here, guys. Like I said, those cameras run 24/7. If you have a business that's interested in something like that, please feel free to help us out, because this is why we do it. This is why, for situations like this where we can kind of look at the radar, see what's going on here, and then we can kind of see the camera and see what's going on in the upper atmosphere and see if it's rotating, etc. here. So right now we're going to keep an eye on it here. Right now I don't want to hang up the live stream just yet, just because the tornado warning has been dropped, because there is broad rotation with this storm near the Holly Grove area here. We're going to kind of keep an eye on things here, probably hang tight for a couple more minutes. Let this get out of this considerable damage tag in Monroe County, gets into Phillips and southern Lee County, and then we will go from there here, guys. So let me double check a couple of things here. Looks like right now, it's moved to the east of the Holly Grove area here. There's a track. Let me go ahead and clear this off, and I'm gonna put a new track over here, regardless of the overall rotation here. I'm gonna put a track for the entire storm itself, because it's gonna pack a punch regardless here. This is gonna be pushing through. That's going to be Phillips County going into Lee County here, guys. So that is the current storm field there. If you want to talk a little bit more about that.
All right. So once again, what I've done here is pull up our storm fuel. So basically, for what the storm is currently in and what it's moving into, as you can see, we still have almost to the extreme category when it comes to storm fuel. Again, this just means the amount of instability in the atmosphere to keep the storm going, and there is a lot of it still right now. So once again, if you are watching us from Helena, West Helena, from Marble, Oneida, Rondo, Mariana, you can catch our weather camera in Helena from Phillips County, U of A there, or U of A Phillips County there. Again on Hascams.com or our website, ArkansasWeatherWatchers.org. But again, this storm is moving into storm fuel that is moderate to extreme, meaning there's plenty of instability and fuel for this storm to work with. Hence why we've had such the large hail threat over the course of the afternoon, evening hours.
Ooh.
Now again, that being said, when it comes to looking at our debris indicator, rotation, stuff like that, we're not seeing much in the way of it, so that's a very good thing. Again, these storms have been big hailers, have been much in the way of tornadic, but have seen a lot of hail threats, especially with these storms as they moved out of central Arkansas and into east central Arkansas this evening.
Yeah, so double checking a couple of things here, guys. Like I said before, I don't want anyone just kind of ignoring this because it's not a big big bright flashing box on the screen. We cover more than just tornado warnings, guys. You know, this is a situation where you have damage winds 70 miles per hour and the potential of large hail. I think the large hail threat has been overlooked today. That has been a frequent problem for us here across Arkansas today, has been the large hail for folks that are, you know, in the Clinton area, you know, if they're northeastern Arkansas, even for our folks in Hot Springs Village, that has been an issue throughout the day, is that large hail threat here. Now, like I said before, looking at the Skycam in the Helena area here, I'm keeping an eye on a couple things here. There's a reason why we have not broken away from coverage just yet. There's an area of rotation, Derek. If you can zoom in on that, it is just the northwest community of Marvell. Excuse me, Marvell. I think you went a little too far. So, zoom back out just a little bit. It's gonna be right there. So, looks like there's another area of rotation trying to get going, and this is what I was kind of worried about with it being so close to the Helena area here. You've got winds coming out of the southeast now. So you've got winds that are coming into this storm here. It's kind of feeding into the storm. And then you've got another area that may try to get going here. So it looks like there's going to be, we'll have to keep an eye on it here. It looks like there may be another area of rotation that may try to get going. If this strengthens, there could be an additional tornado warning with this. Yep. And then as it stands right now, Derek, if that were to get going, it's going to go right for that camera.
Yep.
And Helena,
you know, our camera's currently facing this storm.
Yeah.
Storm at this time. So again, you know, we are currently 20 miles out from this storm. So again, it's something, you know, that we are going to have to watch. Again, rotations come, rotation goes, rotation comes, rotation goes. It spins up, spins down. Again, these storms have a history, spinning up and spinning down. Again, it's not that classic supercellular type look that you normally get, but you know, if there were to be a tornado threat with this storm, you know, it is going to be right in here, just in or just over the Marvell area.
Yeah.
And that's going to track right toward Helena here in the next 15 or 20 minutes. Yeah. So again, you know, we're going to stay with this storm, I think, until it crosses the state line.
Yeah.
One, because we want you to see these cameras in action. You know, because this is going to be a vital tool for AWW going forward. Yes, I mean, here's the thing. You know, we have eyes on the radar. Jamie has been incredible this season and giving us eyes on the ground. But she's one chaser, and we have 75 counties in Arkansas. Right. So what this network is going to do is help us to see all 75 counties. Hopefully not all at once. But
exactly.
You know,
I'd rather not.
But you know, like I said, our goal is to get 75 of these up by the time we get to spring of 26.
Yeah.
So fingers crossed on that. You know, shout out again, you know, to our partners at Hascams for approaching us and getting this project started.
Yeah. So right now, what I've done is I've kind of put out a statewide view, because I know there's a lot of people that are going to be watching this right now, trying to figure out things sound loud outside and everything like that. We want to stress right now here, yes, there was a tornado warning in place that went for the Holly Grove area here. That tornado warning has been dropped. We're keeping this live stream going because, number one, like I said before, I want you guys to see the benefit of these sky cams. For those that are watching that are interested in that project, I want you guys to see it in action here, because this is why we do it. And number two, we're staying live because, like I said before, things sounding loud, the storm anxiety is through the roof right now. Folks just kind of want that reassurance on what's going on here. So my folks that are watching this, if you're in Conway, Searcy, Jonesboro, etc., if you live in northern or western and northwestern Arkansas, you're good to go for the rest of the night here. Now, I want to stress something real quickly here, okay? You're good for tonight. There is a severe weather threat tomorrow here that we will talk about first thing tomorrow morning. That will feature a line of storms developing out in eastern and southeastern Oklahoma and northeast Texas that will move through western and southwestern Arkansas. Yep. So I want to make this clear. This is not at all clear for all weekend long. If you are watching this and you have, wow, that is crazy lightning on a Helena camera. If you're watching this and you have graduation plans and stuff like that, you have practice, or you have something outdoors this weekend, I would definitely be paying attention to the weather, because this is not going to be our last severe weather event. We will have to watch tomorrow. We're going to have to watch Sunday, and I'm getting very concerned about that Monday, Tuesday time frame here across Arkansas. So this is not going to be the last time that you guys will see us live with severe weather here. We've got it coming for the next 4 to 5 days here. So what I will probably do, Derek, if you can, if you want to talk a little bit more about this storm moving the Helena, West Helena area, I'm gonna blow up the Skycam.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first off, I do want to say, you know, Arkansas is very fortunate this evening.
Yeah.
So I do want to zoom out as well.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just to give you an idea of what's going on across the Ohio Valley this evening. Again, we're at the tail end of this event, but you've had numerous tornado warnings up here this evening. As a matter of fact, seeing a report from Somerset, Kentucky,
I heard
that had
that.
kind of a Mayfield type situation.
I heard
with a mass casualty event up there.
That breaks my heart, man. I
so once again, folks, it could always be worse. We've had a rough tornado season, but we've had no loss of life and very few injuries across the state.
Yep.
Unfortunately for others, this has not been that lucky across the country. But again, that being said, that's just severe weather, and it's unfortunate, for our neighbors to the north. But again, pretty much all of us in Arkansas, Mississippi, Tennessee, Kentucky, this region of the country have been battered and bruised pretty much since, I would say, probably the middle of March.
Yeah, even early March.
Yep.
It's just been a very long spring for us here.
Yep.
In Arkansas. So let me double check a couple of things here. Okay, so I knew somebody. Okay, so I'm pretty sure I pronounced the Marvell area right the first time here. I knew somebody was going to say something about pronunciation. We're all human beings, and you guys, we're all gonna make mistakes. That's just how it is. But just looking at things right now here, I'm just double checking a couple of things. Looks like we're good. Looking at the latest warning here, looks like they're going to continue that severe thunderstorm warning here. 60-mile-per-hour winds, 1-inch hail. That's for Grant, Jefferson, and Saline County. That's that Pine Bluff storm. Matter of fact, you're seeing it on our Little Rock Skycam. The lightning in the background. You're looking south towards those storms here, so you're seeing the lightning kind of illuminate the sky from time to time here. But we're going to keep an eye on, like I said, for the storm that is moving over into eastern Arkansas here. There's the Skycam in Helena, West Helena right now. So just kind of a quick shout out to Lee Williams. He's the chancellor there at the University of Arkansas Phillips Community College. Did an amazing job getting this camera up before severe weather started to impact the area today. And we've got, like I said before, we've got that Stuttgart one that's going to go up on Monday. Hopefully before we get the worst round of severe weather across our area here, guys. So other than that, right now, I haven't seen much. I do want to briefly talk about tomorrow because I know there's going to be some folks that are going to ask about timing. They're going to be asking about, what's happening and stuff like that. From what I have seen so far for tomorrow's threat, it looks like it is going to be right around that 6-7 p.m. time frame with a line of storms coming out from southeastern Oklahoma and northeast Texas. That activity will overtake the state tomorrow evening and into tomorrow night. And then there could be some additional rounds as we move into your Sunday time frame down here, guys. Looks like we've got some storms that may be an issue as we move into your Sunday time frame here, guys. So we'll have to keep an eye on that here. I will say this regarding Sunday. I will say that there could be a rather decent tornado threat for our folks in western Arkansas, northwestern Arkansas. Monday is the day that I am personally going to keep an eye on here. We'll have more updates as as time progresses here. But if you're watching this right now, things are starting to calm down for tonight. There's going to be multiple rounds of severe weather as we move into your weekend here. So, Derek, what do you got over there?
Just continuing to monitor, again, the area of rotation, again, beginning to form here. However, I have noticed now that our hail core is decreasing on this storm again. So now's when, that time frame of us really need to start watching that rotation once again. But again, that being said, the storm is moving into an environment, that has also been highly capped all day long too.
Yes, sir.
So it's going to be one of those things is what works in first. Does the cap work in first? Or do we get the storm, acting with a very good environment? And actually, so funny story is our winds just turned out of the northwest in Helena.
That's good.
So that's a very good thing
That's
to
a
see.
very good thing to see. So
having this real-time data when it comes to dealing with severe weather, really does help. And of course, I can't wait to see it on snow, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, we'll get that chance later on this year. Don't worry. hopefully, we'll have more cameras across the states for those that'll be watching in the wintertime. You'll be able to see the snow and everything like that here. So looks like some forward winds are coming out of the northwest, which is great. That's going to help kind of negate that tornado threat here across eastern Arkansas. Derek, if you could do me a big favor.
Yes.
That one in Arkansas County, just to the west of the DeWitt area. I'm keeping an eye on that. It's sticking out like a sore thumb. Looks like there's another area trying to get going. Not like I said, not expecting this to be a tornado outbreak by any stretch of the matter tonight. I'm looking at data for Monday. That's a completely different story.
Mm-hmm.
But as we move into tonight, this shouldn't be a big tornado threat. This should be just a large hail damaging wind with a possible spin up or two with these cells. But we're going to have to keep an eye on it here as we move into later on this evening and into tonight here, guys. So let's see here. Yeah, so we're gonna have to keep an eye on it here, guys. But Derek, have you seen anything on your side in terms of any reports or anything? All right, that's good. So yeah. So let me see here. Other than that, I haven't seen anything. I'm double checking on moderator chat. Let's see if we have any reports coming in or anything like that. Haven't seen anything. Let's see. John hasn't said anything regarding anything urgent. Power outages now are near 10,000 across the board. I'm getting concerned. If you can do me a favor, because you have the radar control over there, zoom down to that storm near DeWitt. That one is I'm going to keep an eye on that here, because if that continues to rotate, that may prompt a tornado warning for our folks in the DeWitt area. This is going to be in Arkansas County. Funny enough, once again, south of Stuttgart, at least going to have a kick out of this.
Funny story about the Stuttgart area. We have a camera up.
Yeah.
But when he plugged the camera in, the camera decided to not want to work.
Exactly.
So we have a new one already on its way to be put up next week.
Yeah.
But
I told him this too. I was like, they're going to get severe weather tonight since the camera didn't work. So.
Yeah. Yeah. But once again, our Stuttgart camera will be able to see storms from miles and miles away.
Oh yeah.
100 feet plus up in the air. Over there in the flatlands of Arkansas County, it's going to be really, really good there, especially for our folks in the Stuttgart area. Especially folks like Riceland as well. Big company there.
Yep.
As well. Again, our residents in Stuttgart, DeWitt. That's gonna be a big thing.
Do me a quick favor. Put a track on that.
Okay.
Folks that are in the DeWitt area right now, St. Charles, keep an eye on that. Right now, it doesn't look like it looks like they're going with a base severe thunderstorm warning here. I'm gonna hang tight for just a little bit, because that might be a developing supercell. That's gonna be over DeWitt at about 11:44, which puts you about 20 minutes from now. Into the Elaine area here. That's gonna be that's Phillips County. Once again, Phillips County. That's going to be around just a little bit after midnight. So we're going to keep an eye on that. Looks like the storms are now coming through the Helena, West Helena area here. So you guys are going to see it in real time. Also, the Little Rock camera, as a matter of fact, like so forth, you're seeing this. These are all real-time cameras, by the way, guys. It's not like a delay thing or like that. This is real-time footage that you're seeing right now here. So my folks in the Helena, West Helena area, like I said, things are fixing to get loud, mainly 60 to 70 mile per hour winds and large hail. I'm gonna keep an eye on that DeWitt storm here. I normally by now we're getting ready to wrap up the live stream. We're doing radar updates. I'm gonna keep an eye on that because if that continues to rotate, National Service may try to throw out a short-term tornado warning for that. We'll keep an eye on that for the DeWitt area here. So right now, I haven't seen much. I will double-check things real quickly here. So let me see. So there's the newest severe thunderstorm warning, 1-inch hail, 60 mile per hour winds with that. But other than that, I haven't really seen too much of anything right now here. So yeah, I'm going to keep an eye on that because it's like the area rotation maybe try to get going. Derek, if you can go back over to the normal way, look at radar.
Yeah.
And we can kind of take a look at that here. So there's your Doppler radar coming back up here in just a second. And it looks like, I'm trying to figure out, is that going to be a hail core that is prompting that rotation here? Or is that going to be it looks like that might be a hail core a significant hail core here. So regardless of the fact, if you're in DeWitt, things are about to get loud. We're talking large hail, 60-mile-per-hour winds with that storm here as it continues to push off towards Easter. So we're going to kind of hang tight like so forth. I'm just kind of interested to see. This is the first time kind of breaking these cameras in with an actual storm.
Yeah.
So I'm actually curious to see how this is going to play out for our folks over there in Helena, West Helena area here. I know folks that are watching this right now trying to figure out what's going on. This is tracking storms over here in eastern Arkansas. Central Arkansas, you're done. Northern Arkansas, you're done. Western Arkansas, you're done. Southern and southeast Arkansas, this continues to be an issue. But then that's going to be it as we move into later on here, guys. So, oh, man. Yeah, go ahead. What you got?
So I'm watching the Helena storm again.
Yeah.
We're starting to get a hook again on it. And you can see that my radar is designed to be weird.
That don't surprise me. It's been going for a minute.
I didn't do it.
You didn't do it? There you go.
Okay. But as you can see, it's got what we call the wings of flight on it. These two little as a part, they also known as bunny ears, where it has two separate ends there, and then you have what's called the hook that comes around here. So what's happening is we are getting a little shower over a lane. This is being ingested. So Helena, West Helena, down to a lane. We definitely need to start watching this storm for that potential. That being said, do we have a view on this camera going towards the southwest right now? Or is it still too low?
I think it may be a little low.
Okay.
I can.
If not, we can just keep on this.
I can try. I know, like so far, I know we were trying to get that camera up as quickly as we could, and then it rained the other day, so I don't know if we was able to get that above the tree line pretty much here. But we'll try because you're looking northwest into the storm here. I'm gonna say no. I'm gonna say no real quick. So we'll look at it real fast and kind of see what we can do. So like I said, you're looking at this in real time. So I'm gonna move this camera over, and I'm gonna say no. We do not have a.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay, so we'll go back over to the view over here, guys. So we'll do this. Give me just a second.
Where's your view?
Yeah, our view right there. There we go. Yeah. So yeah, we're seeing this in real time, by the way, guys. I literally have a joystick over here that's looking at the cameras here. So I'm gonna kind of tilt this just a little bit so you guys kind of see what's going on. Wow. I really hope that camera does not get popped by lightning.
That'd be yeah.
But cool thing about those cameras, it has lifetime warranty, so we're gonna keep an eye on it here. But yeah, so that's what's going on right now here. So you're seeing this real time, the storm that's going over the Helena, West Helena area. 78 over 72 east southeast winds right now, so we'll keep an eye on this. Looks like these storms are going on in what's called storm mergers. So this may be a problem for our folks in West Mississippi. Have to keep an eye on that. As this kind of cluster of storms kind of moves off towards the east. But other than that, I think that is pretty much it for at least for right now. But we're gonna kind of hang tight, and you guys kind of watch in real time how these cameras work as the storm moves over the Helena, West Helena area here. Go ahead, Eric.
All right, so what I'm going to do is put not 60 miles per hour. That'd be a little bit rough there, So what I'm going to do here is put basically kind of a idea on the entire path of the storm. Again, the secondary storm coming through here. Again, Helena, you got one storm now coming in. Again, 11:54 for the back end of this. DeWitt 11:30, Marvel 11:35. So pretty much ongoing at this time, and then of course on down towards St. Charles, Poplar Grove, Lexa and Gillette at 11:45, and then of course on down towards the lane with the severest of the storms coming in here as we approach the midnight hour. Again, it feels like we've been doing severe coverage pretty much since March 1st, but once again, shout out to Cameron as well. Just for basically the redo of a lot of things over the course, really of the past couple of months. And if I want to be technical, I feel like we're a lot better off than we were before our hack. Just because our products are a lot better, our presentation a lot better. More professional, if you will, as we continue to grow and strengthen. as a brand in general. But once again, severe thunderstorm warning does exist for our folks in Lee County, Phillips County, Monroe County, Arkansas County, Jefferson County, and Grant County here, mainly for the risk of 1 to 2 inch hail and 60 to 70 mile per hour winds. We are starting to see what is called a thunderstorm complex develop out of this.
Yeah.
Which is going to produce those 60 to 70 mile per hour winds as it pushes into Helena, West Helena, and then of course on into western Mississippi here over the next hour or so.
Yeah. So I'm actually looking at, and I said for the cool part about these cameras, I know we're not trying to beat it to death. I'm actually looking at the real-time data here. So it's actually like 78 degrees over 72, which is, for it being mid-May, is downright just a sauna. That's an Arkansas sauna, pretty much. You're looking at this, the pressure is about pretty high. Your winds have pretty much calmed down. It's very eerie right now in the Helena area here. Winds are coming out of the northwest. Pretty certain that those winds are going to start to pick up very, very, very quickly as the storm continues to move off towards the east here. It looks like there's now, looks like that is the other severe thunderstorm warning that was considerable. Now it's a base severe thunderstorm warning. So when we talk about that, by the way, base severe thunderstorm warning, that means that 60 mile per hour winds, 1 inch hail. You start talking considerable, that's for 70 mile per hour winds, and that's for almost 2 inch in diameter hail. And then obviously the destructive tag, which we saw earlier up there in Clinton, Arkansas, that is for either 3 inch in diameter hail or the potential of 80 or 90 mile per hour winds. So right now we're not seeing that, but just something that we're going to kind of keep an eye on. Like I said, I'm going to pray that this camera does not get popped by a lightning strike here, because the lightning rates here are absolutely crazy. And that's another thing that we're going to add to our stuff as well, is the lightning rates per second coming up in a future update.
That's going to be awesome.
Yeah, that's going to be pretty awesome to see. So other than that, right now here, what are you doing over there? Okay, so you've got...
I just remember.
Yeah, I was going to say, you've got your screen over there. So, all right, there you go. All right, so other than that, right now here, guys, like so far, I'm not really seeing too much in a way. Looks like the tornado outbreak that's ongoing right now in Kentucky is still ongoing. Praying for those folks. I know that's been a long night for them over there. I'm going to give you guys a first heads up alert. I know I'm trying not to jump bases here. I'm very concerned about Monday. I've been, with this being a severe thunderstorm warning, we have the luxury of kind of keeping you guys updated on what's going on and looking at data. I'm very worried about Monday. I would not be shocked come tonight that the enhanced risk that's already in place gets moved further into the state. I don't want to jump too much into the certain risk, but some of the soundings that I've pulled, I've shared it with our team as well, is rather concerning for our folks in northwestern Arkansas. So if you've got plans on Monday, I know there's graduation stuff going on right now that are planned for Monday. I know people got stuff outdoors and stuff like that. I would be definitely paying attention to the weather on Monday. As a matter of fact, if trends continue outside of what happens on Sunday, we may actually have to be doing a special live stream for that Monday time frame here, because that risk is probably going to increase rather significantly once we get more and more data in for this time frame. So you guys are enjoying the lightning show in the Helena, West Helena area. Like I said, for a quick shout out to University of Arkansas Phillips Community College for this camera, for sponsoring this camera here. Like I said, if you know a business or you know other businesses that would be interested in something like this, please have them shout out to us, and we can make some magic happen here, guys. So other than that, Derek, I think we've kind of seen this storm go through and everything. I haven't seen any other areas that may stick out. Other things are just loud right now in the Stuttgart area, DeWitt, the Elaine area over towards Helena, West Helena, etc. here. So other than that, I think
we're good.
I think we're good.
Again, just to kind of reset everything, we will go back to standard 24/7 coverage again.
Yep.
Again, as conditions warn, we will be live again, but I do think our turn output is low to extremely low.
Okay.
But again, we're going to be watching it.
Yep.
Again, we're going to keep the Helena camera up here for a little bit. Obviously you can catch it on our 24/7 network as well on
Yep,
YouTube,
you sure can.
Roku, and Fire TV.
Pray on everything that does not get popped by lightning, because it just went off for a second and it came back on. So I need some miracle workers here, because I'm getting a little worried that this thing may get popped by lightning coming up here in a little bit. So go ahead.
But again, for myself and for Cameron, we thank you for joining us and trusting us, and of course, we'll keep you updated right here on your source for all things Arkansas Weather.